Throwback Thursday. This is a series where I share a new project made with an old collection that you probably have in your stash. So today we are working with the beautiful Graphic 45 Mon Amour Collection. This came out, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and I have a bunch of it in my stash. So I thought we would make a card, and the base is a 5x7 with a 1/2 inch spine. And if you don't know how to do this, I have lots of tutorials on my YouTube channel. Look for my card making playlist or my tutorial playlist, and I'll show you how to make these 5x7 top fold bases. I've already decorated the inside with a little pocket just made by gluing 3 sides for a little tea bag, and then a little box pocket down here that I'll fill with some goodies at the end. And I also have tutorials for making the box pocket. So I worked with scraps, and primarily scraps. I did cut up one full new sheet of paper, and I like to work off my card base. I just find it easier. So I've combined these two. You can see I've joined them on the back, and we're just going to put down a little border just like this. And I want it to be deeper on the bottom than it is along the top. Then I have these Prima Say It with crystals. I bet you have some of these in your stash. They were really popular several years ago, and like everybody else, I bought a bunch, but I think I'm going to use them today. And I'm just going to cut this 5 inches wide, cutting through the beads. I'll save that bit for another project, another day. Peel this off, the plastic backing, and you always have to be careful because you've got these little flourishes, so go slow so that you don't lose any of the bling bling. And I'm just going to layer this right here, like that. Very fancy. And then just come in with your scissors, trim up the sides. And I'm using my Tim Holtz mini scissors. They tend to work better on a product like this because it has adhesive on the back. And just trim that up. That looks good. Okay. Then the next thing I did was I had one of these border strips from the 8x8 collection, and I just matted this on cream cardstock, a scrap of cream cardstock, and added some scrap chipboard to the back. And we are going to run this down this left-hand side. Just pressing that down. I should have left the chipboard out of the middle, and it would have bridged that gap a little more smoothly. I didn't figure in the height of the lace, but that worked, so we're good. The next thing is a 3x4 image that I backed with double chipboard, and this is going to go just like this. And I actually want to take one of these off the bottom. Let's check this out. Yeah, so we just need it on the top. Again, I didn't figure in the Prima pearls, Say It in crystals, but no harm done. And you can use foam tape. You can use whatever kind of adhesive you like. I like to use waste chipboard because 1, I'm recycling, and 2, I'm saving money. So this up a little higher. There we go. Just like that, because I want some of that bling to show through. So just pressing that down. Then I fussy cut our beautiful fancy lady from the 12x12 collection, and I've backed her with chipboard. Hopefully I got this one right. We'll see what happens when we try to glue it down. And I'm just going to add adhesive just to her hand. And I want her right here so that she overlaps. And you see, by doing this, the chipboard layers, we've built in tons of depth and dimension in our design, which is something I love. Now, this is a Renee Bouquet's beautiful board, printed beautiful board. She sent this to me in one of my orders as a thank you. And I think it's really lovely with this collection. So I'm just going to put this right about here. And I might need to put just a little more piece of chipboard under that one side to level it out. Let's see. Actually, that's pretty good. Okay, awesome. And then I dug into my stash of Prima flowers and pulled out these beautiful roses that they made at one point. I tied a couple of bows with really reasonable ribbon, red, pink, and ivory variegated sheer ribbon. I got a bunch of flowers. I've got this little turn tab that I want to put behind, and this will help support the roses and the ribbon. So we'll just line this up. And this was made when I cut the pocket out with a die on the inside. And I want this big rose to sit right here. So put some hot glue on the back and tuck it so that it fits right in like that. Even underneath is good. Pretty. Then a couple of leaves. One here. One there. Then I have these smaller roses, and they look misshapen, but this is done on purpose. This is so you can layer those in there nicely. So put the side that doesn't look symmetrical underneath. Tuck it right in there. And see how nicely that clusters in? Really beautiful. Love that. And then this one right in here. Or no, this one. Again, underneath. Pretty, pretty. Then we're going to come over here and place our ribbon. I want it right here, just like that. Just going to hold that in place for a second. I usually use the tip of my scissors because hot glue is called hot glue for a reason. It is hot. It'll wake you right up. And then this pretty rose. Some leaves down for it right here. Oops. Well, that was exciting. Get those glue boogers out of there. And then nestle this rose right in here. So pretty. Pretty, pretty. What a pretty card. Okay, and then I'm going to lift this rose petal just like this. And I'm going to take this tip of my scissors. Let me make sure I'm in the frame. Yep. This way. I'm going to pull these legs back so that I have just the knot. And I'm just going to stick this down into that glue and use my tip of my scissors to hold it in place. Not how to do it. Now I've glued myself to my mat, but that's okay. I'd rather glue myself to my mat than glue myself to my project. So once that's set up, you can just come in and trim that away. No big deal. And then I have one last little leaf that I just want to add right there. Look how beautiful and not hard. And I used up an old collection and I made something beautiful with it. So I will, once this sets up, I will glue it onto the cover of my card. And then to go inside the card, I have a little chocolate as one of my sweet little spoons. This is from my buddy Sarah Emily, sarahscloset.blogspot.com. She's an awesome mixed media artist. You should check her out. A little honey stick that I attached a tag to, and one of the ephemera cards for writing a note. So that's it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It helps other people find it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you along for the journey. You can check out my website at kathybydesign.com, where I share all kinds of crafting posts. I love paper. I'm passionate about it. So that's it for me. I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.